Hi everyone, it's your $2 Tuesday movie critic here, and I am still doing movies for Oscars, the nominated films for the year 2025. So today I'm going to be looking at achievement in costume design. So there were 5 films nominated, as usual, but I only looked at 4 of them because one of them was Nosferatu. And if you see me in previous videos, you know I don't watch scary movies. And I saw the preview for this movie because it did say horror. And so I was like, maybe it was some type of horror, like horror as in the classic horror, as in Who Killed Baby Jane. That was a horror movie, but it wasn't scary. This just made my skin crawl watching the preview. So there was no way I was watching the movie. So I did not watch Nosferatu. But what I did do is I watched the other 4. So that's what I will be talking to you today about in pertaining to costume design. So first let's go over the nominations. A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, Wicked. So our first movie is A Complete Unknown. This is the biopic of Bob Dylan. And so this is what I have for costume design. The people dressed like they were in the 60s, although a bit bland. Because when I look at the 60s, it was more like bright flower pastels and stuff, flower power, peace, and all that. So I thought it was a bit bland, but then I think these particular people in Bob Dylan's universe were probably more grunge-like, I guess. Anyway, so I guess they chose not to go over the top. There was nothing distinctive about anyone's dress from the other person. They all wore dark clothes. The folk singers wore a little lighter clothing, wore a little lighter clothing, and most of the time Dylan always was in shades. Most of the time Dylan was in shades. Okay, so yeah, so nothing too out there for that costume design as far as I saw. Conclave. Everyone was pretty much wearing the same things. The cardinals wore their uniforms and the nuns wore theirs. Of course, there were small variations in color and coverage, but for the most part, the costumes played a small part in this film. There was too many other things to focus on. So, yeah, it wasn't a jump out you type of thing. Okay, Gladiator 2. Okay, as you know, this is the sequel to Gladiator, starring Russell Crowe. Of course, Russell Crowe wasn't in this movie, but that's neither here nor there. We're just talking about costume design. The royalty wears more gold than anyone else, and it's usually like gold necklaces or gold designs in their clothing. The senators wear white and some gold. Lesser rich men wear colorful clothing along with their domestic servants. And the poor and homeless wear black, dirty clothing. They all either wear toga-like clothing or tunics. And that's, again, the richer people. The poorer people, the slaves, the homeless people, they're just in pretty much like potato sack type wear. Okay, so then we have, last but not least, Wicked. The costumes and the production design were vibrant, except Elphaba's clothes, and colorful, but not over the top. I liked how they made sure the main characters wore distinctive clothing and did not look like anyone else. The main characters stood out, and the supporting cast stayed in the background. So, very good. It was really nice. Now, I know that some people probably think that Wicked should be the clear winner here, but I actually think that it should be Gladiator because they had to go the extra mile with their costume design because it wasn't just about them wearing colorful clothing or whatever. It was about status, and it was important that they get that right. And as far as I saw, they did get it right. The differences in clothing, material, gold arrangements among the Romans, it is not always clear, but in contrast enough. Gladiator is the clear winner. Yes, Wicked has wonderful costumes, but there are little distinctions among the lesser characters. Among each status line, there is distinction amongst not only their clothing, but their hair, their things. But since we're just talking about costume design, yes, their clothing definitely showed the distinction. When you saw a slave or when you saw a gladiator, besides the muscles and stuff, you knew that was a gladiator because of the costume that they were wearing, and you knew that a homeless person was like a beggar or something because of the clothing that they were wearing. You knew someone was an aristocrat. Well, there were no aristocrats back then, I think, but senators. Definitely you knew who all the senators were, not by what they said, but by what they wore, because some of them didn't even have speaking parts. So, yes, for me, Gladiator was the best for costume design. Okay, so that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments you'd like to add, please let me know down below. And I hope to share more with you next time.